My Digital Experience by Shantae Hamilton. Thinking back on my childhood classroom technology experiences, I remember that most of my homework and class assignments were mainly pencil paper assignments. It was either us taking home our school book workbook or them giving us a worksheet page to do or writing our words three times each or something like that, but it was nothing that was involving a computer. It was just simply pencil or paper type homework. I also remember in high school, this is maybe when I was a freshman, perhaps, I remember there being a computer teacher. So my classroom teacher didn't incorporate technology much, but my computer lab teacher, that was the only teacher that I experienced any type of computer technology with. And I remember the highlight of one class I recall that my computer teacher, one assignment that my computer teacher was trying to teach us was how to build a website. And in my adulthood, I remember that I would recall my computer teacher attempting to show me that. I'm not sure if I grasped it or if I just did it for the class and never looked back on it. But I remember wishing that I had paid attention in that lesson and so that I could use it now. And then I remember that anytime that we had to do any type of research, mainly in my elementary class, it would be done in the library. It would be us going in there with our librarian, and they would show us how to use the computer in the library to search your book. But we weren't using a computer ourselves and searching for our own technology. We would just be using a computer to search for a book in the computer in the library. I recall these portable devices, which are very different from what my first graders today see. Um, Most of our videos, our educational videos, were shown on this type of a TV. When we saw this come into our classroom as a kid, as the saying says, nothing made us happier than seeing this because you knew you was about to watch a movie. It was a movie day. And even in my school now, we have, I think we just got rid of our little portable TVs like this within the last few years. And then I also remember the projectors looking like this, where it was a paper that you would lay down on that screen and you would project to a board. The chalkboard has changed so much over time. I remember my first year of teaching, the chalkboard that I used to teach with was simply just a chalkboard. I had a piece of chalk and it was just that blackboard. And then when I went into my first public school setting, there was where I encountered my first experience with a dry erase board. And now that board has changed so much because most classrooms now have the projector that is already installed in the ceiling where it's already connected to your computer, where you can just project things from your computer, which is what I use in my classroom when I'm doing my assignments. I use technology every single day. I use my projector board every single day. I recall there was a time when my projector wasn't working. I couldn't project to my board, and it was one of the saddest times in my life. Inside of the classroom because I was not able to give my students that extra experience through technology. But the chalkboard, the dry erase board, the projector has come such a long way from what I remember when I was in school. Actually, there was no projector, of course, when I was in my elementary school days. It wasn't until I was in my secondary years where I was able to see any type of projector being used in the classroom. Digital learning tools. What would the world be without digital learning tools? You have the Elmo, you have the projector screen, of course, and you have the projector pens. I love the projector pens because it's just something else that gives students that extra push or that extra ability, just the extra connection piece. And this is something for me, my math curriculum, my science curriculum, it's all on the computer where I can just simply project, and it's just a closer look at being able to know that my students grasp concepts, or if they don't grasp the concepts. And my students love it. I remember the first year that we got these, of course, they didn't know how to use it. I barely knew how to use it because I didn't grow up with it. It wasn't until I was a teacher in my adulthood that I was introduced to these pens, and I love them. And even just the wireless mouse and the wireless keyboard. You didn't have those wireless tools back in my day. And I love that now, because even if you don't have things as the projector pen, but if you have the wireless mouse, you can it access the same way. Our 21st century learning tools. These tools have come such a long way. Things such as YouTube, Skype, the ePortfolio, Wiki tools, iPads. These are tools that we didn't have when I was growing up. But these tools, they give children a different type of experience, a different type of connection. For example, teachers can use Skype for students to interact with other students across the country on certain assignments. And then everything is on YouTube now. Any type of you have teachers that are doing mini lessons, stations lessons, activities that teachers can use. Then, of course, you have the e-portfolio that highlights digital learning experiences and tools that you can use, and the iPad. Most classroom nowadays, I know try to have that one-to-one ratio with iPads. I know my district and the elementary side, we in the elementary end, we have a total of 10 iPads per classroom, and it just helps to give students just a different type of experience, a different type of learning experience. Google Apps for Education. The majority of these things, Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, Sites, Drive, these are things that I'm just now having experience with. Google Drive is something that I first used last summer because I was an IRG writer, and we used the Google Drive in order for us to share our documents back and forth. And that was something they had created for us. I didn't even know how to create my own Google Drive, but now that I do know how to do the docs, the sheets, the slides, and sites, I love it. I always think back, where was I without all of this before? How did we make it before? So, more power to those parents and students as myself who spent the majority of their education without the internet or without these digital learning tools. In closing, digital learning has changed dramatically over the years since I was in grade school. And now our students have more access to digital learning tools. It gives them a deeper experience. And I can't wait to see what technology holds for us in the next few years.